I'm going to call the meeting to order. This is a liquor license public hearing for Iron Tales Enterprises, doing business as Iron Tales Saloon, 559 Route 109 in Acton, Maine. Their liquor license is coming up for renewal. All the proper documentation has been sent to us. We have a couple of letters that came in. Jen, if you want to read those two letters.
Okay.
That maybe with the gentleman first and then go to the other one that came in.
Okay, so we have two. The first one is from Tom Cashin, dated April 8th, 2021. Draft proposal regarding the public hearing to be conducted by the Board of Selectmen via Zoom on Thursday, April 8th, 2021. The hearing is to consider the application of a liquor license renewal request for Iron Tales Saloon, who currently holds a license now. One issue that was not present at the time of the issuance of the existing liquor license is the presence of COVID-19 virus. It is critical that the deadly nature of this virus and its ease of transmission are understood. Mr. Martinez and his staff need to convey their willingness to uphold the current guidelines of the Maine CDC that are applicable to his place of business. A working plan for the enforcement of the guidelines of the Maine CDC ought to be in place. This should start with the necessity of wearing an improved mask prior to admittance. We hope the Board of Selectmen will consider the necessity of conditioning the liquor license renewal on the basis of Mr. Martinez's public testimony this evening. Second one that has come in is from Leslie Berlin. I'm writing in reference to Greg Martinez, Iron Tales liquor license renewal. I'm on vacation, so I cannot attend the meeting. I'm asking the following be read aloud at the public hearing. Thank you. My name is Leslie Berlin. I'm a longtime property owner and resident of Acton. For full disclosure, I am also an employee of Iron Tales Saloon. I have extensive experience in the food industry and 25 years as a bartender, service, and service manager. Greg runs a tight ship at the saloon. Greg is always at the saloon while it is open. All servers and bartenders are tips trained and communicate with each other and Greg regarding any potential issues. I have never witnessed any problems or patrons. Greg is highly responsive to any suggestions and feedback, whether brought to him by staff, patrons, or neighbors. He immediately takes appropriate measures as warranted. Greg and Iron Tail Saloons are an asset to the town of Acton. A number of Acton residents are employed at the saloon. Numerous benefits are held at the saloon throughout the summer. In fact, $20,000 was raised last year for vouchers for veterans. Greg is an outstanding citizen of this community, and I support him 100%. Iron Tail Saloon is one of the few businesses here in Acton, and as such, the town should support its continued success. I'm in favor of renewing the Iron Tails liquor license. Mr. Walsh, we also received a statement from the fire chief saying that I have no issues concerning this establishment. They have continued to work with me to keep a fire-safe occupancy. So that's signed by Rick Smith.
Okay.
And I presented to you the year's worth of calls from the York County Sheriff's Department as well. Majority of them are building checks. There's some motor vehicle stops in the area. There are a couple of noise complaints.
Yep, and the noise complaints are being, or I shouldn't say complaints, are being dealt with under the his expanded use application. So conditional use permit he's trying to get. So it is part of this, but it is, but it isn't. It's all part of the same thing. So
misdial administration doesn't really look like much of anything.
No, I'm looking down through it right now. We got fire alarm activations, building checks, the motor vehicle stops and whatnot. That's just they use the building as a reference.
Right.
Yeah.
Just some regular details.
It doesn't look much different than in past years.
No.
Other than the complaints we had with the sorry, I can't get my video to work. So other than the noise complaints, I don't believe there's any difference in the last year when we renewed it.
No, it all looks the same. I guess if there's no objection, I'm going to open it up to the public. If anyone from the public has anything, I'll let our administrators of the site here handle who comes in. So
So if you want to speak, you will need to turn your video on and just raise your hand and we will unmute you.
Anyone in the audience wish to speak? This is your time. We will be voting on this next week at our regular selectmen's meeting on Wednesday night. So this is strictly just a public hearing. So this is the time for the public to make any comments they wish to have.
So I have officially gone around and asked each person that has their camera off to turn it on to give them a chance. I'm not seeing anything, Mr. Walsh.
No, we'll give them some time here. And I'm not seeing anything. Okay, I'm going to open it up to Mr. Martinez. Anything you'd like to add, Greg? You're muted.
There you go.
Yes, hi. Good evening, folks. I appreciate the kind words, and also I spoke by phone to Mr. Cashin, and the guidelines that are in place, we adhere to them. I don't really have a choice in the matter if I want to be open. Things are improving, fortunately, but there's still, all my employees wear masks, including myself. And we encourage people to social distance and everybody knows the routine. We've been going through it long enough, and that will continue hopefully until this whole thing goes away, which I personally, and I know a lot of other people, look forward to. The environment we have is primarily outdoors, as many folks know, and there's plenty of room outside for folks to social distance. And I had the good fortune of having a good summer last year because people, in fact, did feel safe coming there because there was plenty of room, to congregate. I certainly, I don't know who comes in together, so it's difficult sometimes to determine, who shouldn't be standing near who should be socially distanced from the people that they rode in with. It's challenging at times, but we certainly do our best, and there's signage throughout the building and on the exterior of the building, reminding people to take the precautions.
Okay. That was down, it was last year you did the liver and onion.
Yes.
Thing. Yes. I was down last year for that, and I did notice a lot of people with the masks on and whatnot, as so did I. I don't know what else can be added. We do know that the biggest problem we have right now is some noise complaints, and I know you're working your way through that, and that's between you and the planning board right now to come up with a solution on that one. So
it's in the works.
Yep. Yeah. One more chance for those in the public. This is a public hearing for Iron Tales, their liquor license. See, it looks like some of the people have dropped off that we had. Okay, this is last call. Going once, going twice. Nobody with hands up anywhere? Nope. Okay. Dave, you got anything you want to add?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yep.
No, you can't see me. So, no, I think I'm all set there. Like you said before, the planning board's dealing with the other stuff there and see if they can situate that. We appreciate what you do for the town of Acton there, Mr. Martinez, and yeah.
Okay. Jennifer, we need it. Anything else you need to add?
No, everything's complete on my end. We'll bring it before you next Wednesday for an official vote.
Okay, I'm going to go back to Mr. Martinez. Anything else you want to add?
No, I thank you all, and I certainly thank the town of Acton because over the years I've been there, they've been very supportive of my business, and I certainly appreciate it.
Okay. With that, I think I will close the public hearing. I only see one video on, and that is Jim Driscoll. You don't have anything you want to add? You're just hanging out?
Nope.
You're
muted.
He's talking.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Just curious, Greg, what do you pay a year in taxes down there?
The property tax?
Yeah, for the business down there.
I don't know the exact number. It's between, I believe it's between $7,000 and $8,000. I haven't got my latest bill. I think I'm due for an adjustment this year based on the demolition of that large storage facility that was on the property. So
Right.
I haven't seen a tax bill. Perhaps I see Jen on the computer. She may be
Pretty
looking.
sure she's looking that up as we speak.
Yeah.
You have no objection. It's public information anyway, but you have no objection for it.
No.
Well,
6,000
Go ahead.
$6,791 was the 2021 commitment.
Almost 6,800. Okay.
But that's good news for me.
The taxes are current.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Jim?
That's it. No, that's a good chunk of change. And I would just like to piggyback on what Leslie Berlin said. Basically, the same thing. I went down there Greg was, they were organizing a fundraiser for a family, very good friends of mine, actually, with cancer last year. And I went down only for a minute. And I'm very careful with the mask and everything else. I have one bad lung, so I'm over the top careful. But they had the initial meeting for the fundraiser down at Iron Tails. And when I went into Iron Tails, every staff member I saw was wearing masks and following all the protocol from CDC. And not only that, Greg really does. He runs an incredibly tight ship down there. I know prior to this, like some folks believe that because it's motorcycles, it's the motorcycle group, but the majority of these people are 40, 50, 60-year-old people who are, they're business people or contractors, and somebody's talking. I couldn't really hear that from
I heard something in the background.
Yeah, but the first thing you see when you walk in the door is that any motorcycle, they're affiliated with gangs or clubs, they have to remove their colors at the door, and he stands by that. There's none of that. It's pretty much business people and yuppies who can afford $20,000 motorcycles. Good. It's the truth. It's just the truth. But I mean, people, they scare themselves believing that it's a different clientele. And I hear it all the time. And I just laugh to myself, but he does a fantastic job, and he's very conscious, and it matters to him. Greg was a New Hampshire State Trooper, and that's still in him. I have a brother who was a Mass State Trooper, and it's something they don't forget. And he carries that with him, and he's very serious about that. There's no drugs on that property, and he's very serious about it. And people understand that if you're going to do that, you're out of there, But and I heard some people complain about the motorcycle traffic, and if only some of these other folks on some of these boards over the years if really cared about the traffic, they would have done something about these 20, 25, 18-wheeler gravel trucks driving up and down our roads, destroying them every single day. 20 trucks go by my house, or 5 or 6 days a week anyway, and you got these road commissioners trying to figure ways to take care of these roads, and how do we fix them? And no matter what they put into them, it's not going to matter. These roads aren't built for that. But it's like we're focusing on the wrong thing, But I wish him well, and I hope you guys grant him the license because he deserves it. There's no business person. In fact, I don't know any person that has ever in the history of this town, or at least since I've been here, given back more to, I don't know how many families that have gone through either cancer or some type of hardships, or what he's done for the veterans. I mean, they're talking about last year's $20,000. That's nothing. That was just one event compared to all of the other events he's done for the Veterans Cemetery. And I mean, it's endless. He never talks about it. And I get aggravated that he doesn't, because it matters. People need to hear this stuff, But I wish him well, and I hope you guys grant him the license. He's an excellent neighbor. And the decisions we make, like I'm on the planning board, the decision I make on the planning board, and that you should make as a selectman, is this shouldn't be an issue of my backyard. This is about the whole town, And when you talk of him as a neighbor, you talk of him as a neighbor to the whole town and what he's given back to so many people, to the school. I mean, it's endless. It's endless. But that's about all I have to say. And thank you for allowing me to speak. I didn't have my thoughts together early on, and I wish you good luck, Greg. I wish you the best of luck because you deserve it. You're a good man.
Thanks for the kind words. I just want to clarify one thing. You know, it's not just me. It's not just the business. It's the members of the community that kind of use a gathering point. And, you know, the credit goes way beyond me
I understand that.
Yeah.
But we all know where we can go.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you have a foundation and a footing and a really strong one, it's easy. It makes it a lot easier to help people out. Yeah. And that's what you've been. You've been that to this town. The little kids with the lemonade for the Veterans Cemetery. I think they raised $4,000 or $5,000.
They're all grown up now.
Yeah, but I mean, they stood out in front of your place and they raised $3,000 or $4,000. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
It was 7 overall. I think they raised 3 or 4. But you know, you're a foundation and a footing where people feel welcome to. I remember one night the kids who were traveling. I think it was the Odyssey of Mind group, and they didn't have the funds. You know, they were running short and running out of time. And you said they contacted you when they were down there, and they raised the money to send these kids to fly these kids out or bus these kids. They had their dream. They met their dream anyhow. But if it wasn't for that, and that's just one example, you know what I mean? So, but I wish you luck, and I hope the selectmen approve it because you deserve it.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks.
I do see one other camera that came on. Do you have something you'd like to add? Nope, camera's off again. Okay. Last call. Anyone from the public? Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing. Like I said earlier, this will be voted on at our next regular selectmen's meeting, which is next Wednesday night. I don't have the date. Let's see, the 14th, I believe it is. We'll vote on the liquor license for Iron Tales. This was strictly a public hearing. So with that,
thank you.
I've closed the meeting, and that's it. Everyone have a wonderful night. Thanks.
All right now.